Hello, Earthlings. It's time to reset your cultural dial. Coming your way next on your favorite device, from the Hoosier State to all the ships at sea, it's the Crawfordsville Peachcast. And now, here's your second or third favorite Dave from Indiana, Dave Peach. Warning, other people named Dave may also appear.
Thanks, CD. It is the Crawfordsville Peachcast. I'm Dave Peach.
And I'm Dave Meyer. Dave, I got the hippie shakes here on today's Peachcast.
It was a fantastic movie to watch. Cocktail, movie number 71, 1988, the year I got married. And I'm still married to the same woman.
Dave, this was a good year then. 88 for you and Annette, and I'd say the investors in Cocktail. Maybe not the Purdue. I don't know.
They did
we'll
well.
Talk about it. They
Budget
did well.
of $20 million, made $170 million.
No, they cleaned house, and I would. You know what? If you were among the older artists, a lot of old rock and roll was featured on this, done by newer people, but somebody got some money off the royalties off the soundtrack.
Cocktail, 1988, movie number 71 in the Untoasted series. Tom Cruise plays Brian Flanagan. Brian Brown plays Doug Coughlin. Coughlin? It's Coughlin, right? It's not Coughlin. It's not Coughlin. It's Coughlin.
You know what? I don't remember.
Hard G, right?
Okay,
hard G. I think it's a hard G.
An Aussie Coughlin.
Elisabeth Shue plays Jordan Mooney.
She is the good love interest.
Kelly Lynch plays Carrie Coughlin. We're trying to get a louder phone here in my office. I don't know if you know that or not.
Dave, is that Kelly Lynch calling in to discuss her part in this movie?
Paul Benedict, who I feel was in another Untoasted movie. He played the professor, and
oh yes,
a very he had a the thing about Paul Benedict.
Yeah,
he always is memorable in a movie.
Yes.
He was memorable in Spinal Tap. Maybe we've just been talking about Spinal Tap and Paul Benedict, but in The Jeffersons, whenever Paul Benedict hit the scene, everybody just lightened up.
There's a certain cadence.
There's
to
a
how
looseness.
How he delivered. That you're just gonna have to put Kelly Lynch on hold, Dave. That's how that's gonna work. Now, do you remember? I think of him as the modern day version of Dr. Bombay, the actor that played Dr. Bombay on Bewitched.
Oh,
and
yes.
Also was Colonel Crittenden, I believe, on Hogan's Heroes. So a certain kind of character actor with an accent, usually a mustache, but you see him, you go, oh, there's that guy. Because before the Jeffersons, he seemed to show up in a lot of places.
When you said Colonel Crittenden.
Yes, Dave.
Okay. If we were like on some show where they gave points, they'd go ding, 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 ding. That would have been a big point getter for you.
That was like an 8-point callback.
Lisa Baines is Bonnie.
Okay.
And you gotta love a movie that's got Lawrence Luckinbill. I just like saying Luckinbill.
Lawrence Luckinbill.
He played Mr. Mooney. And he is, of course, Mr. Lucy Arnaz. Now, has it always been spelled Arnaz? I've always said Arnaz. Arnaz? Is it Arnaz? But I've always said Arnaz, but there's an A in there.
I think it's the Cuban pronunciation, but it is an A.
I gotcha.
It sounds like an A.
Okay, now, you'll probably get this if you did not know already. But
okay, Dave.
This movie, a big portion of it was filmed at the same spot that another movie that was on Untoasted was filmed. It was early on, and it starred a well-known comedian.
Ooh, Dave are we going back to little Robin Williams, little Club Paradise kind of action?
We sure are. Filmed in have you ever been to this? Port Antonio, Jamaica.
I have been to Jamaica. I was in Negril and Mo Bay, as they say there. was where I flew into.
And also Jimmy Cliff appeared in the movie Cool Runnings, and he also, I believe, appeared. Did he appear in Club Paradise? Was he in?
Yes,
Club Paradise?
I think he had lines. Yeah,
and he's got a song in this movie that we talk about here, Cocktail. This won the Razzie for Worst Picture and Worst Screenplay.
Wow.
And a guy by the name of John Wilson, who we probably should have on this show.
Okay.
He's got a book called the Razzie Book. The Razzie Book.
Okay.
And some of our movies aren't really bad. I mean, some of our movies are not bad. I mean, we see that's the thing.
They're untoasted for different reasons.
What we ought to do is just do bad movies, and then people would know what we're doing. And people,
that's the way to clean up, Dave.
And people always ask, "Well, are you movie buffs?" No. It's called the Crawfordsville Pete's Cast because it's what I think about these movies. Okay, people. But he, in I guess maybe a chapter of his book, the Razzie Book, he said this is one. He put this in the 100 most enjoyable bad movies ever made.
Okay, well, that's a good category. An enjoyable bad movie.
But it made money. I mean, how many of these bad movies have we seen? Like, what was it? Yeah, you've got. What you asked. Oh my! Could you try? We've got all sorts of things going on.
What's
here.
happening, Dave? I'm
kind of one of those days. A little spooky. That's okay.
Good.
Central Indiana Rubber Products provides the power for you. Central Indiana Rubber Products, or CIR, keeps farm equipment and local manufacturing processes running with gaskets, belts, seals, and O-rings, among a variety of other products and services. Employee-owned and always customer-focused. Central Indiana Rubber Products, 989 West, 83 North, Crawfordsville, and at indianarubber.com. Central Indiana Rubber Products, or CIR, power for you. Now, I see you made me lose my train of thought. Oh yeah, Amazing Buck Howard. We talked about. We talked about the Emily Blunt. She made this one movie called Silent Whisper. Or what was it called? The Unsaid. It's a horror movie where you couldn't say anything.
Right. She's married to John Krasinski and A Quiet Place.
A Quiet Place.
Is that it? Okay.
That made $341 million, as we've talked about on this show before.
So we won't watch that one.
Our Emily Blunt movie made $1 million.
That's
the Amazing folks, Buck Howard made $1 million.
If you need to know exactly how
341 to 1.
Dave just gave you the Emily. If you're going to buy the Emily Blunt Untoasted T-shirt, it's going to have, it's the Amazing Buck Howard.
We don't know who this guy is, but Roger Donaldson was the director. He is 79 years of age, still around, and he's from Australia, but also claims New Zealand as a residence.
In my head, did he do Whitney Houston, Kevin Costner, The Bodyguard?
Not that I saw, but I don't. You have to look that. You have to look that up.
I have to look up these things on my own. Okay, I thought you had the Roger file open there.
I did not.
Dave. Roger Donaldson. We'll just keep saying his name, Roger Donaldson.
Roger Donaldson. Roger Donaldson. Roger Donaldson. Let's talk a little bit about the guy named Tom Cruise.
Yeah, Dave, and this is early in the Tom Cruise era of eras.
Tom Cruise, let me just go a little bit on Tom Cruise.
Okay, bring it up.
Tom
Dave.
Cruise tested out of the Brat Pack.
Yes, he did.
He didn't have to do any. He didn't have to do any movie like that. He went straight to the prime cut movies, and really the Brat Packers. Other than, is Matthew Broderick a Brat Packer?
Adjacent.
Okay,
adjacent.
So really, Judd Nelson, Rob Lowe, was it Emilio Estevez?
Right.
They really didn't make blockbuster, what do they call them, serial movies, or like what do they call those? What do they call Mission Impossible and
like a tent pole. The tent pole.
A sequel laden movie. They never really were known.
They weren't the franchise guys.
No, not the franchise.
Yeah.
Franchise. Tom Cruise just went kind of like other. And the thing of it is, even Tom Hanks had bosom buddies.
Right.
On his
exactly. Yeah, no.
on his record, I mean,
right. Johnny Depp did, 21 Jump Street.
Tom Cruise didn't do anything like that.
No.
Kind of like the girl, the female actress. I'm sorry, Scarlett Johansson.
Oh yes,
she didn't do any. She didn't do any teenage movies. No.
Right. She didn't do Facts of Life.
She didn't do Scary Movie or Shriek.
Right. Leo.
Or Scream
wasn't
or
Leo
whatever.
DiCaprio on like the last 2 seasons of Family, Family Matters?
Show me where Tom Cruise was the third friend on Saved by a Bell. It doesn't exist, folks. He just went straight to the head of the line.
Right. No minor league baseball for Tommy.
And I'm telling you what, the reason why is because I don't know. This is probably the research probably bears this out. He is probably maybe the most fetching young lad that you'll ever see. Okay,
Dave, we haven't talked about
his hair and his hair. Yes, the hair, the hair. The hair and he's not that tall, but who cares? I mean, he just kind of moved up there, and he's making. I don't know, Days of Thunder, Risky Business, whatever those movies are. Yeah. Was it All the Right Moves?
All the Right Moves. Yeah. These weren't all, he wasn't in the franchise business at this point, right?
No.
But he was still the bankable guy because this would have been after Top Gun. Right.
Oh, Top Gun. That's the one.
That movie. If anything would have established him at the top of that kind of young pecking order, and I can't. He has been a guy that's been a moneymaker. There have been a few along the way, but I mean, I think he started doing the Mission Impossible movies about 2000-ish, maybe 1999, and they were still going as of this past, last year.
Now, here's something that I think about a lot. He's our age.
Yeah.
He is Kurt Signetti's age. Okay? When you're looking at Kurt Signetti,
yes,
you're looking at a guy that's a year or two maybe older than Tom Cruise.
Yeah, they have different posture.
They're the same. They're the same age group. I mean, it's insane.
Yeah.
How this guy still looks good.
No, I mean, I'm sure there's a million places on the internet where you can compare Wilford Brimley at any age to Tom Cruise, and it's big.
TC baby. Now, we do have a movie to talk about. So that's kind of the
which is where we get to Tom Cruise.
That's kind of the context of this Tom Cruise guy. I mean, he's not really even known for being in movies with people, right? It's just Tom Cruise. I'm Tom Cruise, and they'll find some other people to be in the movie.
Right. Tom Cruise has not yet been at some point, Dave. Now,
is his real name Tom Cruise?
I don't know that. We'll have to look that up.
I mean,
but he's not had a character actor phase.
How could you have a better name than Tom Cruise?
Yeah, that was lining it up. I don't feel like it's correct. I don't feel like that's his Christian name, Dave, as one might say.
You're gonna coach's challenge.
We're gonna find this out. Coach's challenge between now and the end of the episode, Dave. We're gonna check in on Tom Cruise's real name.
Okay, now,
but this
go ahead. We're gonna start the movie eventually.
Okay, we will start this movie because it's people think of this and go, "Is this?"
Well, we're tapping away here.
We are, both of us, buddy.
Let's see.
Okay,
his middle name's Cruise.
Right.
You got to be kidding me.
No, I knew this, honestly.
Thomas Cruise Mapother. Who knew that? Mapother is his real name? M-O-P-E?
Yes. Yep. I remember I looked this up before.
I'm sorry, M-A-P-O-T-H-E-R.
The fourth. So, yeah, little
his middle
Tommy,
name is Cruise.
Which makes sense. I mean, you're much better off going with that.
I wonder how many people know that.
Right. So on his driver's license, or when he goes to the airport and flies commercial, and that happened about 1984.
Or if he was ever on trial, would Mr. Mapother please stand?
But on his ID, Dave, it says Cruise Mapover. Not sure if the fourth is on there.
We like that. Okay. The movie is called
Okay.
Cocktail. Now, Don't forget, when was All the President's Men or All the Good Men, or what was that movie where Jack Nicholson and Kevin Bacon and all that? All those people. Demi Moore.
Jack. Okay. Now I'm confused, Dave. Jack Nicholson.
All Good Men. All the Good Men.
Are we talking about when Jack the Colonel?
Yeah,
a few good men.
A few good men. Thank you. Okay,
a few good men.
But let's get to this movie.
Okay, that's the 90s.
That's
the
90s. Okay,
yes.
That's the Entertainment Weekly Tom Cruise.
But that would be this is a good reference, Dave, because there's probably two movies that I can think of. That one and the movie Magnolia are probably as close as him being a part of an ensemble as it will ever be.
Yeah, he's his own guy. So
yes.
In this movie, he gets out of the Army, and he tries to get a job, and he can't get his dream job. He has no degree.
But this is where they keep cutting to his feathered hair, Dave. His very feathered hair in those job interviews. And I'm thinking back then you could just get a lot of job interviews, I guess. Nowadays it's hard. Yeah.
He got a lot of interviews.
He got a lot of interviews, Dave. For a guy that didn't have any credentials on paper, somehow he must have sent a headshot, I'm thinking, is how he got all these interviews.
He also had quite a few suits.
Oh,
we
wow.
like that.
Very feathered hair, Dave.
So he had an uncle that had a bar. Is that how this worked?
Dave, you brought up one of my favorite fun facts. I wish we had a little sound effect. Boo boo. Dave, do you recognize who played his uncle? His Uncle Pat. Let's say his Uncle Pat.
How did I miss it? Uncle Pat.
Well, Dave, this is one of those that I had to kind of think about. Do I know this guy? Do I know this guy? And why do I know this guy? And then I thought, yes, Dave. And his name is Ron Dean.
Oh, I've heard. I remember the name. Okay, yes.
Okay,
Ron Dean.
And Ron Dean, besides being Uncle Pat in Cocktail,
James Dean's brother, I think.
He could be all that, but I know that if you go back a few years to about 1984-ish, he plays Emilio Estevez's father, who has the scenes with him in the truck and says, "You screwed around, sport. I screwed around too. I just didn't get caught," or whatever. So that guy, he plays a tough guy uncle, bar owner in Cocktail. He's also Emilio Estevez's less than emotionally connected father in The Breakfast Club.
Oh, wow! I early on in the movie, because they go off
very early.
Yeah,
very early, and only because that movie is played 1,014 times, and I think I saw it at least a couple in the theater.
I don't remember much about the beginning of the movie, though. That's the thing,
right?
To me, that it's when they get to detention.
Yeah, everything's really inside. Yeah, in the library.
So he becomes a bartender, and he is, I guess, how did he meet Brian Brown? I forget.
Well, he's okay. So he's you set it up perfectly, Dave. He blows all these interviews. Basically, all these people tell him, not only we're not going to hire you,
that's why you'll stay being co-host.
Right.
That. Yeah. You set it up perfectly by not knowing how they met. You set it up marvelous. I mean, it's like 20 feet from the green for a birdie putt downhill. It was perfect.
Right
Dave.
there.
It was perfect.
Set
Dave.
it up, people, right down the middle. So he cannot find a friendly employer in the corporate world, Dave. He walks, dejected at the end of the day in New York City, and there's a help wanted sign. And he walks in this bar, and the bartender says to him, "We're not open." And he immediately says, well, blah, blah, blah. So they start talking, and Brian, who we don't know yet is Doug, gives him the big speech about all the stuff you have to be to work at a bar. And then he says, "Come back." And basically, he starts out, and his first night, he sees that he's not qualified to be a bartender. There's a lot happening. If you've ever been a bartender, folks, which I have, it's not for everyone.
If you're a bartender,
not good at it to begin with.
Have you ever seen what appears to be the New Year's Eve ball drop crowd screaming at you for hours on end?
No.
Or at least minutes on end, seconds on end in the movie.
That felt like a very movie contrived moment.
At some point, you might just say, okay, folks, I mean, with 20 of you screaming, I got 2 hands, okay? You see what I got to work with here. There's 20 of you screaming at me. It's not going to help.
One at a time, please. No, so it shows him to be terrible at this, and he thinks he's terrible. And it shows him wringing out his socks from the liquid at the end of the night. And then Brian, who is the old grizzled Aussie bartender, says, no. Basically, you got something. And he basically thinks, and you kind of get the feeling of, no, you're going to attract some ladies with your looks. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to bring you back. So he sets him up, and then at that point they become like compadres, and then you're doing kind of a pre-montage with the all the bottles and mixing and tossing.
Dave, they call that
theatrics.
Dave, they call that flair bartending.
Flair bartending, and he used that term, didn't he, Dave?
Well, I looked it up, but. Okay. Did I even watch the same movie? I think I did. I did watch the movie. I'm like
No, Dave, but okay, let's talk about the flair bartending, because I guess in my mind, having never watched the movie, but I'd seen it on and remember kind of the promos, in my mind, they were doing Cirque du Soleil level moves behind the bar. Dave, it was low level impressive. I mean, it was. I think you and I, with a week or two, we'd break some things. I'm sure they worked with some plastics, But were you impressed with all the bottle throwing, Dave?
I wonder how many times you do that. Because you could do it maybe 5 minutes,
right?
And then people might not, see the thrill of that. But perhaps I mean, it definitely was one of those things that we talked about. Not a red herring, but what do you call it? One of those plot mover honors. It's your favorite one.
Oh, MacGuffin? It was the MacGuffin, Dave.
I mean, It definitely moved the meter. It got him. It got him to the next bar level. The guy goes, "I want you at my bar."
Right. So that's the big thing. So they become a team. The place is packed. It draws folks, and so it draws a guy who owns a bar on, I don't know, the west side, east side, everybody else. But basically, they set it up, and it's called like the Cell. It looks like a jail, like a disco jail, futuristic disco jail. The king of 1988. I would say a bar that you would go to be seen and see if you were in that mold and you were dressed a certain way. So. Now, Dave, I don't remember this. You and I were of legal age during this time, so we occasionally went to places.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever remember going to a place that was packed and a bartender got up on the bar and delivered a poem?
I cannot remember that happening.
I don't know if that was maybe something that hadn't made it to Indiana in that time frame.
Must be an East Coast thing.
It seemed like one of those things that I'm not sure this should have stayed in the movie.
You don't kind of moves. Well, there was the end poem too.
Right. No, I mean that's why it did. I guess that's why you did keep it, is to have that little callback at that point.
Okay, so two bartenders meet, or like an old bartender takes on new bartender for a while. They're doing really great. They go into a little deal where I think Brian Brown, Doug Coughlin, started to date Coral, the photographer at the bar.
Right. No,
like
he basically says that this girl that you think that is all into you, basically, I could have her.
Yeah.
And then he proceeds to do that.
Yes.
And then then Tom Cruise's character quits and goes to Jamaica, Dave. He goes to Jamaica.
And and they have, well, let's see. There's so many things happen in Jamaica.
Right. He meets Elisabeth Shue.
He finds Jordan, and
Right.
they are together for quite some time. And let's see, we find Brian again. Brian comes to the place right there in Jamaica. And I'm going to save this for later, but Brian says something that I think it really just hit me. And so we'll talk about that later. And then, Dave, talk about the match trick.
The match trick.
Where the lady is, where Bonnie, I believe it's Bonnie, her name is Bonnie, Lisa Baines.
Yes.
Brian says, there's your woman. Well, this is actually meets Jordan, and then all of a sudden here comes Bonnie. And Bonnie is going to smoke a cigarette. We did this in the 80s. I'm sorry, folks. And so Tom gets a matchbook and lights the match and throws it at her, and it lands right in her, right there where she lights a cigarette. How did he do that?
I don't know. I thought that wouldn't happen that way, Dave. It would either go, I don't know. Maybe this is something we should try.
And like he almost did it backhanded. Right.
No, it was like a move. There's definitely a move that someone perfected that taught him. Some bartender move that it was beyond me, Dave.
So Brian Flanagan, Tom Cruise, finds Elisabeth Shue, who's Jordan, and they are a couple now. But then Brian dares him to date Bonnie,
right?
And Jordan sees Tom Cruise go off with Bonnie,
right?
And Jordan leaves on the next flight out.
She is on the next flight out, and unbeknownst to him, because to him, she had told him that basically she is an artist and you're a bartender, so we're, what we are. What we didn't know at that time, Dave, was that she actually came from money. So,
no question about it. We find out later. Brian and the rich lady go back to the Big Apple together. They're now a couple. And at 1 hour and 6 minutes into this movie, because I wrote it right down there, they go to the Uptown cocktail party.
The Uptown cocktail party.
So they've been in New York.
Yes,
they've been in New York. They rose through the ranks. Then they had a big breakup. They both end up in Jamaica. Tom now has a new love, but he's still, we'll find out. But
yes.
So at the Uptown cocktail party, a fight ensues.
Yes.
And I will say this one. So this is where Bonnie and Brian break up, because Brian has a fight with Robert the sculptor.
Robert the sculptor. First of all, Robert's dissing him pretty hard, because when he walks up to basically, he just wanted to leave, right? He's just trying to leave. It's not his scene.
Yeah.
He's kind of put his time in. I'm feeling for Brian at this point. And then basically she disses him, and what does he say? Heel boy, I think is what he says.
Yeah, he goes, you don't have this one trained, or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, so at that point, you want Tom Cruise to go Tom Cruise on this guy. And he did. And, of course, that was the end of that relationship.
Now, I will say this one.
And he broke his sculpture, Dave.
That's right.
Process.
That's right. He broke his sculpture, yeah. They were arguing whether it was a bust or not. Then it ended up being, I'm sorry. That's coming up in another episode. Okay. I love this one. Bonnie says,
yes,
I don't want to end it this way. And Brian retorts, everything ends badly. Otherwise, it wouldn't end.
Wow.
I mean, they
maybe
should
some truth in there, Dave.
Roll the credits.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
all
over.
you need.
It's over.
Yeah. Everything after that kind of is like, what?
And, I think there are so many things that go into that category that we could talk about till the cows come home. As far as I'm concerned, I don't want to go off on a big tangent, but very seldom do you get the Dr. J send-off where they give you a gift at every stop along the way. Here's a 80-inch TV. Here's this. Here's a, everything. I mean, the guy just, I think he played for Philadelphia in the NBA. He didn't go to 8 other teams. He played for the Nets in the ABA. And when he left, it was like a royal procession throughout the country.
Yeah, it was. I remember that. Doc's retirement tour.
You don't get too many of those.
No. He was, because first of all, that even the people that hated Dr. J respected him.
Yeah. Who hated Dr. J?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
People that hated the 76ers.
Yeah. But I don't want to end it this way. Everything ends badly because otherwise it wouldn't end. Oh, I got to think about that. So I'm just rolling through this movie. He hunts Jordan down at the restaurant she works at.
Yep.
And she pours food on him.
Which is good.
Yeah, it's a kind of a
good scene.
Neat thing.
Yeah.
We find out later she's pregnant.
I'm like, hello.
Bum, 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 he goes to the penthouse to meet the parents, and this is when Lawrence Luckinbill hits the scene.
Larry pulls out the checkbook, Dave. He's not going to let things go. It's a forceful character, Dave.
Let's see. We end up with, then the movie just kind of moves on it's kind of rolls.
Let's talk about how much fun it would have been to be a part. Let's just say you're the second banana of whatever. I'm just like, are we going to ride? I'm not going to do the movie unless we're riding horses on the beach. Okay.
Yes.
How about some intimate scene? No, not on land. Water. No, waterfall. That's it.
You're
Waterfall
going back to
or
Jamaica.
Nothing. Okay, Dave. They had a good time making this movie. There were some pretty nice locations that they got to play on.
But I did read on the notes that he got a little sick. Tom Cruise got a little sick swimming in that hot water in Jamaica.
Okay.
I heard that.
I read that. That could do it, Dave. I mean, I did. There was the notes that I read. There's like Brian Brown said the original script was like dark, and he liked it because it was very dark. But then when, and he's, again, Brian Donaldson is an Aussie director, or Roger Donaldson, Aussie,
yeah.
Picking Brian Brown. And this is right after Brian had done FX, which is kind of a cool movie, right? So, but basically what he said is once Tom got attached, they couldn't make it that dark, right? I mean, it's kind of a dark movie anyway, I would say.
It ends dark.
It ends dark. But I guess, Dave, it was a lot darker at one point. So
Doug dies. He kills himself. Tom Cruise is walking and eating in scenes after that.
Yes.
Tom gets a letter, or Brian gets a letter from, I never know how to say the guy's character name or whatever. Brian Flanagan, Tom Cruise, gets a letter from Doug Coughlin, Brian Brown.
Right, after he's gone.
Coughlin's Law, bury the dead, they stink up the joint.
Yeah, Dave, it's cold. It's cold.
That's where it gets a little bit. It gets a little bit dark at the end.
It's a cold farewell from his character, who truly, even though he's entertaining, I guess he's dark throughout. You just don't see it as much when he's being magnanimous and charming.
Now I have a note here. There's another fight. Is there another fight?
There were the two.
My note says another fight, marriage, and then a bar called Cocktails and Dreams, and then a poem, and then we find out she's pregnant with twins.
At the end, Tom is punching the doorman at
that's right, at the penthouse.
Her dad's place.
At the penthouse, that's right.
At the penthouse, because, and then she's pregnant, and that's all the father sees all this, and yes, Dave, we had to round it up in the very end.
It is Cocktail 1988, movie number 71. Dave, what do we get from this movie? And then I'll end up with the one quote from Doug that I'm going to live by for the rest of my, or it will impact me for the rest of my life.
Okay. I'm just going to say in 1992, they asked Tom Cruise about Cocktail, and he said it was not the crowning jewel in his career. So I would say, well,
but
Tommy,
I bought my mom a couple homes from the proceeds.
It made coin. I tell you, my biggest, I try to think back of what I was doing during this time or whatever. And the thing about this movie, probably that was the most, I remember it the most distinctly of that time. And somehow the song has carried is Kokomo by the Beach Boys.
Yes.
I mean, and it's a very small part of the movie, Dave. Very, very small part.
We're going to go over the soundtrack. Okay, the line that stuck with me, Brian Brown, Doug Coughlin, to Brian Flanagan, Tom Cruise. He said, there are two kinds of people in this world. He said this in Jamaica.
Okay.
They had a conversation. Jordan and Brian had a conversation about flugel binders, which are actually aglets, which are the end of a shoelace.
Which, yes, it was one of those teachable moments in a movie.
Somebody makes those aglets, and they're a millionaire. I mean,
right.
In his world.
Yes, exactly.
So Brian later told him there are two kinds of people in this world, workers and hustlers. Hustlers never work, and workers never hustle.
Ooh, okay, Dave. So where are you on this 50-50 deal?
I think a hustler, I mean, and workers can hustle, and hustlers can work. So I'm going to disagree with him.
Sometimes they're going to have to.
I'm going to disagree with him there.
Okay.
But I do believe that income, making money are mindsets.
Yes, it is. It is a mindset. You are more, there are certain folks that are more attuned to how money works and more ways they can make more and keep more of it than others. And that's not an intellectual or even necessarily a financial background thing. I see that in all kinds of folks.
Well, and the reason why I'll probably always be a worker at my age, I don't have time to learn all this stuff. All I got to do to figure out that I don't know anything about money is watch CNBC for about 20 minutes from 2 to 2:20 on any given Monday through Friday afternoon.
What happens, Dave?
And I don't. They might as well be speaking another language. I don't understand it, and I never will. And then you look at CNBC, and they've got all those numbers. Going 8 lines of numbers sideways, and then up in the corner. And now we're going to talk to the CEO of this, and he's talking about this, and he's talking about that. I have no clue. What's going on? No clue.
I'm with you. And I can't make that important in my brain at this time of the game.
But I can tell a coach when they should call a timeout at the end of the game.
Absolutely.
Okay, you got to call. I know
Dave,
that. I have an innate ability.
Times?
I could be the timeout whisperer.
You should have maybe a touch your nose. I don't know.
I mean, I they're screaming. Call a timeout. Call a timeout in football. It's so easy at the end of the game. But I will always be. I mean, I hate to say it. I'm going to disagree a little bit with Doug Coughlin in the movie.
Sure.
Can you disagree with people in a movie?
I think you can. Doug was fictitious, and he didn't make it through the movie.
I am a worker who hustles.
Okay,
Dave, and Peach. You do too. We both give it. We give it everything.
We are those.
I will say there probably are some workers who don't hustle.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some hustlers who probably never work. They just have a knack of knowing what to buy on CNBC.
Being in the right place, Dave. I don't know. Yeah. Whatever touch they have, Dave, they've not put their hands on our heads for a long time.
Well, let's wrap up Cocktail.
Okay.
It was a Tom Cruise movie.
Yes.
It wasn't, it was a great vehicle for him. Again, put Tom Cruise out there. You're going to make some money. And it's one of those movies, if you know, I kind of enjoyed watching it again. It was something that I remember going to see the movie. It was a late summer movie. It was like released in July, so you saw it in August. And we'll talk a little bit about the soundtrack here before we move on. But it was, I would call it a variety of songs here. You've got Kokomo, as you mentioned, by the Beach Boys. Rave On by John Cougar Mellencamp. They're still calling him Cougar in this movie.
Oh, Dave. But you notice all these, like, okay, Don't Worry, Be Happy was in this movie, Dave. That was huge.
Bobby McFerrin. Was it original in this movie, or did they pick it up?
I think it was.
Okay.
I mean, this was a very curated soundtrack, right?
You had Addicted to Love by Robert Palmer and Wild Again by
there was actually
Starship.
At one point, I think I remember reading this. There was a total. I think at one point this movie was totally scored, and they removed that and used all the tracks.
Had a little Richard in there.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, it's a classic. You know these songs, and like Addicted to Love, Tom Cruise is singing to in the movie. So it's like there were some callback, you know, what was the other? Yeah, the Jimmy Cliff, Shelter of Your Love. This Magic Moment was another old kind of
Everly Brothers.
Classic. The Everly Brothers, yes.
If we didn't say it, Chantilly Lace, or it's Chantilly Lace, right?
Right, yeah,
Chantilly
the Big
Lace,
Bopper. Yeah. They sing that in the movie, right?
And they know all the words. Nobody who ever sang a song walking down a street ever knew all those words.
No, except in the movies.
Except in the movies, because they got cue cards.
Yeah.
So we need cue cards next time
we need cue cards, yes. And then, you know, the producer's walking backwards in front of us.
Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never felt I could be so free, flying around on a wing and a prayer. I can do it. Who can it be? Here we go. So any other parting shots for Cocktail? So to speak.
Dave, at one point.
Parting shots. Cocktail.
Yeah, parting
got it.
shots.
You know, the sequel could be Mocktails. We could bring that housewife from New York.
The modern version.
What is her name? Brianna. I can't think of her name. Brittany?
Brittany? Dave, there's got to be a mocktail podcast.
Bethany.
Sure.
Bethany. She's the mocktail queen. She's the mocktail queen. We could do it two female mocktailers.
To the mocktailers. No, you know, Tom and Brian, good effort. You brought it all in there. You mixed it all up, and you made a lot of money. So,
and Elisabeth,
keep it going, boys.
Elizabeth Shue, just I don't know. She just
you like Elizabeth Shue. You just gotta.
Good luck, Elizabeth. And again, it's Cocktail 1988. Next up, it is Jonathan Livingston Seagull.
This is the mysterious entrant of this season, Dave. I believe this is the most curious, off the wall. Jonathan Livingston Seagull.
We got Neil Diamond.
Right, we got Neil Diamond's involved.
We got a little book. It was a little book that a lot of people read
with an orange cover and the yellow. I remember the cover art, Dave.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I can see it right now. I never read it.
And I never saw it, and we're gonna. Here we go.
I figured out yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Okay. I figured out a long time ago, but it's something that's been true for me for a long time. I don't like to read books, and I don't like vegetables.
Very simple.
So
folks.
when I see people it's really I
see somebody with a carrot and like Gone with the Wind.
When somebody says I like to read books, I just want to say just like I don't like to read books. I mean, and I'm not really even glad you do, you know?
No, it's funny.
I'm okay.
I'm just going to tell you.
I don't like vegetables and I don't like to read books. Well, that'll do it for the Crawfordsville Pete's Cast. Next up, Jonathan Livingston Seagull. Cannot wait. And again, we are on CrawfordsvillePetesCast.podbean.com.
Podbean.com. It's fun to say.
Yeah. Like, share, and subscribe. We are on Apple, We are on iHeart. We are on Spotify. We are on YouTube, and we are on Podbean.
I feel like we're on both network and cable.
If I did not thank CD, I'm thanking her now. Dave, thank you. And until next time, America, for Dave Meyer, I'm Dave Peach. Thanks for listening to the Crawfordsville Peachcast.
Thank you for listening to the Crawfordsville Peachcast. If you enjoyed it, follow the podcast and ring the bell so that way you'll always be up to date with the newest episodes. We'll see you next time.